So what? Look.
It's the new OGs. The new OGs is a State and Madison Entertainment production and is brought to you by Solar Masters. Look, Illinois is changing how people get their electricity, and Solar Masters is helping homeowners in Illinois take advantage of a program that allows you to get solar power at no cost. If you're a single-family homeowner in the state of Illinois, you can lower your electric bill, raise the value of your home, and do something good for the environment without paying a single dollar out of your pocket to do so. In fact, Solar Masters can only work with you if they can save you money. Solar Masters is black-owned and a SunPower dealer, an American panel maker with over 30 years of solar experience. They even have a referral program that pays out as much as $500 per referral. So head over to www.gosolarmasters.com and get in contact for a free consultation or to refer someone.
Wait, Bobby!
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. We almost got through it.
Bobby! I just want to make sure that the people understand what's going on, what you said. It sounds like you said to me that if people do this, they can save money every single month on the electric bill.
They can save money every single month on their electric bill.
That they can do something to help the little birds and the bees and make the environment a better place.
Yeah, they can make the environment a better place. Yeah, we got to it.
And if they refer somebody,
yep,
they get $500.
Yeah, even without the first two things, if they just refer somebody, they can get.
They can just do that and get $500.
Yeah, up to $20,000 without having to pay taxes on it because it's all electronic.
Man, that's better than being a Benji, baby. We got 100 episodes. I done this shit like in 85 of them. You know what it is. This is the century mark, baby. We Benji.
Yeah, if you want to make a bunch of Benjis, get over to www.gosolarmasters.com. Get in contact for a free consultation or to refer somebody that you know. We are also brought to you by People of Comedy.
Hey.
That's a network that
Comedy
we are
people.
on, have been on, and will be on. Go to People of Comedy on Facebook. See all the great shows that they have offered there. Check in daily as they have new, fresh podcasts you can watch and listen to wherever you listen to pods. Dude, that is, we joked when we first started this podcast that we needed to have some things that were like recurring bits, and we weren't like, we talked about planning, and I'm like, no, man, a thing will just happen, and it'll just be a thing that'll work, and like,
I just happen to be goofy.
And yeah, I think it was during one of your mushroom tea periods. And,
I'm just going to say,
I miss the mushroom tea, man. I really do.
I'm sure it misses you too. You know what I mean?
I'm just going to say that the energy is very different being in the room to hear, Bobby!
Yeah, I know. Imagine being the person who has to be on the other end of it. It is definitely like you know what's so wild about it is that like I specifically remember the one where he just let it go. That's how. There's one episode where like after he'd been doing it for a while, he like didn't, and like on purpose. I forget what the reason was, but like we talked about it afterwards, and then like he went right back to it the next week. But like I for sure remember that one. You know what I mean? Like,
so here's the thing. I'll tell you why.
He was like,
It's
preparing
great.
itself like.
I'm always like, when is it coming? And it never comes at the same time. You know what I mean? So like, it's just one of those. Like, I am as surprised as everybody. I'm as shocked as anyone else. You know what I mean? Even though I know it's coming because I don't know when, I'm always gonna be as shocked as everybody else because I am also high when we do this part.
That episode that I didn't do it, and you asked me about it, like after the episode, I said I thought James needed a clean one. I thought like we were cutting like so James could just press a button and it played that, so you didn't have to do it live every time. So I was like, oh god, he needs a clean one. So the funniest part about that is I was high as fuck, and it was literally like I was holding my inner kid back to not do it because I was like, Bobby has to. If you like go watch that, I can't remember what number it is. If you watch the episode, you look at me, I'm literally like. Don't do it.
Don't do it, Cartman. Don't do it. Hey, man, I just want to say that I did not. The rhythm of the show is different when we're together.
Yeah.
And so I was outside waiting to get, because I'm early. I was a military dude.
Right.
I'm early.
You're the eldest.
Yes,
and so like a true older brother, you are there early, like to set the example that we all fail to follow.
And so, dig, I see niggas pre-gaming, getting weed before, and I had kind of demolished my shit yesterday, right? And so I'm sitting there like, shit, I need to catch up. Okay, so y'all go ahead and talk.
You got poor weed planning. It right now and in your general use of the weed. You know what I mean? Like,
though, here's the thing. Even though it's been 2 years, I am still not accustomed to weed being legal.
Right.
Like, my girl wanted to go hang out on the beach and smoke weed, And like I was like, I drive past the beach every time I go to the crib, and there's always cops like kicking people off the beach and shit. And I was like, man, it's a gang of cops there. And she was like, so? Nigga? She was like, so? And I was like, we can't blaze. There's a bunch of cops. And she was like, why not? And she was completely confused. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Right.
And I was like, oh, that's right. That's legal.
Right.
And that's a public. That's an open public space. Yeah, you good. Like, technically, they could write you a ticket if they wanted to, but it ain't nothing gonna happen.
No, there's nothing going on. It's one of the weirdest things. Like my transition from Wisconsin over to Illinois is this mode of just like, all right, let's blaze.
And now at
it's just like,
coming in from
Hey,
Wisconsin.
man, I just can't wait. There's going to be a time in the very near future, I think like before 2025, where like every single person that gets pulled over, their car's going to smell like weed. It's going to become a thing where they're not even going to be able to accept it anymore because so many people are going to be, because even if you don't smoke in your car, even if you're like, you ain't smoking in your car, I just smoke. Eventually, you're going to have that shit on your clothes.
It's going to, no, you know what it is that, and somebody we were hanging out with has a whole bit about that, about how like the future is just going to be non-smokable ways of getting high. Like it'll just be in the drink, it'll be in the food. You know what I mean? Like already there's so
I'm really excited for weed.
There's so many edibles,
soda.
and like once that becomes also a thing
They got
that
it in
works
LA.
like people
I
start
heard.
putting that in their health food and shit, and it's a wrap. You know
Man,
what I mean?
dude,
Like,
I'm gonna start
you won't smell
cooking
like
with
weed.
it.
You'll just be fucking
Yeah.
Sony.
You're right.
But it won't matter because your car will be driving for you. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. That's. I can't believe that didn't happen more during the
it's just
pandemic.
gonna be like here's why
It's weird that they didn't take advantage of that during the pandemic.
Here's why the rich people are
That
gonna
ain't
leave us
nobody out.
bums here when they go to Mars is that we are just gonna be so zonked out and our like driving places high as fuck, not touching nothing, sleep at the wheel, getting somewhere, maybe putting in a couple hours of work on these fucking jobs that don't need us anymore because there's robots. And like the rich people are like, yeah, we're gonna start all over. We're going to Mars. Good luck, you guys. If you can fucking wake up in time, whatever.
So
but if
here's
not,
the thing.
here's your fucking
Here's-
oxycodone and your weed. Good luck. Good luck with Earth, you fuckers.
Here's the future, I think, for downtown Chicago. My friend was downtown
War.
Chicago. They were saying how empty it is. It looks vacant. Nobody's down there, and a lot of people haven't gone back. A lot of people who's worked from home. They're still working from home. A lot of people plan to work home all summer.
The traffic wasn't as bad as it normally is.
And some companies, I have a lot of friends who have said that they're going to be doing a hybrid thing where they do half and half because companies realize they saved a ton of money. And I think it was one of those things that people had just always done it because that's the way it was always done. And the pandemic forced them to like paradigm shift.
I mean,
and they realized the technology is there. There's no reason for them to have an office space for this many people. And it's weird too. The state of Illinois had just bought like 2 or 3 office buildings.
I know
downtown.
somebody close to me who was working. She got let go pre-pandemic, but she was working downtown. She's a 6-figure, 25-year plus employee at the company, like just in her 50s. No big deal. And like she got let go. She was traveling from northern Illinois into downtown every day on work. So she was spending money on that, but she was making a great 6-figure income. And I think she still makes 6 figures, but it's less now. As soon as she got let go, she got picked up by one of her contacts, got her in touch with somebody down in Miami. So she works for this company out of Miami now. Like obviously she still lives here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like she makes a little bit less, but she's like, I don't have to
fucking
travel. Get up and travel anywhere.
Like the annoying,
like that. Her happiness with her, like it was always some bullshit with the place she worked at. Always some bullshit.
Yeah, here's the thing. It's a lot easier for you to get me to do what you want me to do if you leave me the fuck alone.
Right.
Yeah.
You understand?
Right.
That's number one. Number two, Renee hates working from home. You know why? Because the shit is always there. So anything she want to do, she like, I would watch TV, but that shit's still waiting for me. That would have just been at work tomorrow.
And you could have, had
And
a
she
reason to
can't
just
let
not
it go,
do it.
right? But the thing is, if you really want me to do what you want me to do, shut the fuck up. Stay off my shoulder. Let me do the shit at the way it get done.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, we talked about that. It's wild because it's, you look at the evolution of where business is now, and it makes me, as a guy who's a Generation X guy, makes me think of like Napster. And when people realize like you didn't have to be paying all this money for this shit, you know what I mean? Like, and like the companies that are now winning in music are the companies that saw that and were like, here's a way we can still make it profitable, right? Like, and the old white dudes who thought that they were going to run music industries the way they used to, either they don't exist anymore,
or they're
they're owned by Seagrams.
Oh.
That's the dude. Do you know how much Seagrams owns in the music entertainment business?
Really?
Seagrams owns everything. They own so many labels. James, can you look up what Seagrams, the drink company, what they own, like who they own, the industries that they own? This is what happened after Napster blew up. Like all these labels that were like major players have been absorbed or bought up by Seagrams.
Wow,
it's a
I didn't know that.
multi-billion-dollar international company that's just like
that makes sense.
Swept in and took all that.
I think they own they own Schweppes own the Seagrams own Schweppes. That's why I made that joke.
I mean,
I'm certain they do. I'm certain they do because they have a Seagrams gin and Schweppes thing. A marketing thing that they used to do. I almost worked for not for Seagrams but for some affiliate of them.
Yeah.
Once.
If you look up like music labels and Seagrams, I think there's probably you'll probably find something that links them together. But anyway, the thing is like that's where business is now. Where it's just like if you can figure out an innovative way to make your business work in the modern world of how people feel socially as well, right? Like some of these businesses that are working this old hat way, you got to come in here or it's not going to exist. If there's somebody in that same industry who finds that, you're asked out, man. Like you're not going to win because it is too cutthroat right now.
I just think, again, I'm following this thought and this weed is really great. Man, this weed had a really great flavor to it too.
Seagrams owns Universal Studios. They own Polygram.
They own LL Cool J.
Polygram is the world's biggest music company.
Oh wow, they got Erykah Badu, BB King.
Yeah, that's all owned by Seagrams. The bourbon and
that means they get free booze. Chivas Regals.
I mean, that's the whole industry is built around
booze.
Partying and being. I mean, you go to the party.
That explains Snoop Dogg having all these motherfucking.
Don't you get? There's no more money in the CD anymore. So the only way you make money is on the tour, at the festival, at the one single show. And what do you do there? You sell booze. Yeah, that's the whole gimmick now.
I bet you, and now that the NCAA has to pay players, we're gonna talk about that later. I know they're gonna. They don't allow alcohol at their venues. I bet you that's gonna change.
Oh yeah.
So really, what has happened is that just one group of white people took all the money from another group of white people.
Some other slick foreign white people came in and was like, we could pull some shit out here.
I mean, don't feel bad for those music guys. They got paid a lot of money by Seagrams to take over their shit.
Well, but if you don't own yourself,
I think the thing
that's
that you're
issue.
talking about though is that at the artist level, it's still you're like. All it was is like when you got a mortgage with Bank of America, and then Citizens Bank come in and buy that mortgage from Bank of, and you get that letter that's like your loan is now owned by. And it's like, okay, like,
I just want to check
is the
something real
payment the
quick.
same? Because if it is, then I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Like you call the Hoofu Fadufu Bank, and I'm still going. If I don't pay them, are they going to come for my shit? Well, I guess I'm gonna pay these niggas, right?
I just posted a clip where you talk, well, what the fuck is past due? It was the fuck. But hey man, you don't give a fuck who owns what when you have $1 billion, Rob. Like if you have $1 billion, they can take my little thing. I'll make another one.
It ain't
or a different
but
one.
What I'm saying to you, it's not gonna be that many of us to have $1 billion.
Oh no. I'm saying, but I was talking about them. Like you were saying, they took their thing, and you were like, they don't own their shit no more. And I was like, they got billions of dollars, dog. They good.
What happens is the control over what you get over the art becomes different, right?
Yeah.
Like when the only space is available for those who have the money, then they get to have more say and dictation into what is put out and what is pushed and what isn't pushed.
So here's something interesting. I don't know the industry numbers exactly because Tidal kept all their shit under wraps, but Tidal was the only streaming service that the artists actually own their shit. Most artists don't get paid shit on streams. When you're saying CD, there's no payment. Right. Like the music industry figured out a way to fuck the artists again
a long time ago.
On that. But that's why when Jay-Z did it, like if you go back and look up like the original sign of Tidal, it's like him and like 20 of the like Rihanna, Madonna, a bunch of the top fucking people, and he did say they were making money there off their own shit, their own content. So when the Twitter slash
as a Jay-Z stan, I appreciate your constant standing for Jay-Z. I do.
It wasn't even a stand about Jay-Z. It was.
I do appreciate it because I would also use Jay-Z in examples, and so I do appreciate. Like when I hear it brought, I'm like, yeah, that's what I would.
Hey man, look. these motherfuckers idolize a gang of sorry ass motherfuckers. I don't idolize the nigga, but I think he's doing it right.
Right, yeah.
I think he's like he's the first dude. He was calling $1 billion in like I was listening to like some old shit. This nigga was screaming he was gonna be a billionaire in 2003. Wasn't nobody even saying billionaire. And like rhymes and shit. This motherfucker was talking about gonna be a billionaire.
In the concept of like abject hip hop capitalism. Like yes, absolutely, right. Like, and he's done a ton of great things too.
Right? I'm just feeling the way you
and
put
they own
that.
a gang of shit.
So here's the thing. This is what I'm saying. If what I'm creating is feeding the whole industry of motherfuckers, I should be eating the best because I can make this shit whenever I get good and goddamn ready. And the thing that angers me is that that's the way we've been treated throughout this whole situation. No matter how great you are, whatever you do, they're going to find a way to make more than you off of it.
Yeah.
And so that's the thing we should be trying to work towards getting rid of. That's
I don't know if we can ever get rid of that because there's just so much in the infrastructure. For instance,
the guns.
When I used to work,
the guns right now. They happen to have all the guns.
They have all the guns.
Biggest issue is fighting the people that like that shit is they have all the guns.
But like the only thing that I could imagine that would actually have anything that was remotely close to equity and or percentage equity, whatever, to our percentage in the population, whatever, would be if they literally gave us Verizon. Like that like literally, because everything that you would participate in, the infrastructure for it is already there. So even if you came up with a better mousetrap, you still got to fucking use the mousetrap on their soil or their whatever.
Yeah.
Like I said, so they would have to like literally give black people Verizon because Verizon owns all the lines.
Okay, here's what I'm saying. I'm saying I understand what you're saying at a structural level. You're never going to, and I've always said you'll never catch the 400-year head start. Yeah. What I'm saying is that we need to concentrate our resources in a certain direction. Now, dig, I done convinced millions of people of some shit that does not exist, and this is why I'm trying to get the new OGs. I want y'all to start watching us. We are giving you a key to your salvation. I'm saying, if this shit is capitalism, then stop buying soap from the soap store. Go your cousin make that shit. Go buy her shit and tell everybody you know to buy her shit. I'm saying right now, I got a little cousin make soap. I got a little cousin. You dig what I'm saying? I got a little cousin. The reason I bring up soap is
that's by the way, if I may take a minute.
If I don't take care of me,
body wash.
We usually do the commercials before the show.
I have spent my entire life giving to everyone.
I hear you.
And so that's why I'm saying let's get some money together, and I'm gonna show you by being the first nigga to do it. Yeah. You dig? And so I'm saying, when you got family members that do shit, let's go back to them and start buying our shit from them. Even if they got to buy the raw materials from them, at least we get a detour before we give it back.
All right, shout out to my cousin Netta DePrado that does like body sculpting shit. I always get wrong what she does, but she has like lasers and shit.
Well,
she can make you look
fly. What you're saying, I think what you're saying in a nutshell is like there is a potential to have some control in putting into creating some wealth if people would literally decide to do it. Right?
Absolutely.
Like you can, it's like in the year of their Lord 2021.
Here's the thing.
Hold on. In the year of their Lord 2021, like there is unending resources for someone who wants to find a black business or a business of color or a business that caters to the LGBT community. Like there is an unending amount of resources to allow you to find that if you so seek it and want to put that wealth. And I think where people get lost is the idea of they go, man, it's just a bar of soap, right? Like I just gotta, you know what I mean? Like, what's this $5 gonna do? But like, I think what you're trying to get across is if everybody just did they $5,
shit would be amazing.
Here's the thing, I believe,
which is the money wheel, right? Isn't that money wheel shit that people run around Christmas time? Where
I know that.
No, what it is an economy.
Right? Yeah, but see, you can be a little wary of an economy when the last time you did one, they fucking bombed your shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I think the internet has changed that unless we get bombed by hackers and stuff. But I think I'm always like Sunshine, Mr. Sunshine and Bubbles on the show, and I'm going to continue that because I rage against a bit of the we need to. I think that that's happening. Like I see it happening a lot. Like I have Carol's daughter in my hair right now. That's a black-owned hair care product. So if you see my shit glisten a little bit on the screen right now, you're like, damn.
I think that shit looks amazing.
XL's locks is blah blah blah. Yeah, Carol's daughter.
I think the timeline is longer than what people. I think human beings are very terrible with understanding time. Yeah. And like how long a thing takes or is going to take versus how long they like think it should take. You know what I mean? Like especially when it comes to change. Yeah. Because your mind realizes a change should happen way before you even decide to do something about it, before you can even decide to convince somebody about it, before you can decide to get them to tell somebody else about it, right? Like it's so long. And so it feels like once you got to the point where now you find out that there are even other people that feel the same way that you do, your mind has been thinking about that change for so long, you are already fed up with why it hasn't happened yet.
Absolutely.
Right? And at this point with social media, you've been on Twitter, you've been on Facebook, you've made posts, you got 300 likes. Obviously, people feel the same way you do, so why isn't the change here? Right? But the reality is that a lot of times when you're dealing with 330 million people, to affect a change to happen, the timeline is longer than you understand, even at the fastest it might go. Right? And that means because it takes changing, it takes not just change the people that agree with you to make a move to happen, but getting the people who don't agree with you today. Yeah. And how you have to help them rearrange what is usually a whole line of thought process they've had from the time they were born until the very moment they hear a thought that's different than all the ones they've had up until that moment.
Yeah, I have, and I also have.
Welcome to the 100th show, everybody.
Hey, one second. Keeping with that 100th show theme and announcements, this is my announcement. If you know somebody in your circle that has a small black-owned business, now I ain't trying to disrespect nobody else, but I'm saying we need to catch up. And so in keeping with that, I played a character called Toby Jones. I don't own Toby Jones, but I own me. Now, if you want to sell your shit, you get up with me, get in my inbox. All my social media is the same.
Robert_L_Hines.
That's it.
Get me your product. Get me a sample of it so I can see what we selling. And if it's great, we'll sell it. If it's not good, I'll tell you how to fix it. I will work with you or find somebody help me work with you to get your shit fixed.
Toby Shark Take Jones. Here he comes.
I mean, I ain't trying to say no shit, but we got a couple of motherfuckers in here that build businesses and things.
Yeah, there's a few.
Couple business owners in this bitch. So, like, I mean, this ain't that type of show, but I can help you get your dollars up.
Here's what Rob is saying is get in contact with him if you have a product that you want us to talk about on this show. And if he checks it out and it's dope and like you're legit, then we'll talk about it on the fucking show. Like we wanna promote your shit and give you an opportunity to tell people like, hey, tune in. They're gonna be talking about my shit on this show, and they will. We're happy to have them come watch the show. They can see your product get talked about and what we think about it in a positive light. If it's something we don't like, we're not gonna talk about it on the show because we don't want to shit on you. But if we like your shit, we want to positively promote your business.
And I will do commercials for you. I will do commercials for you. If I can sell that shit, I can sell yours. Get to me. Come holla at me.
Do you know how many people ask me if that's real? If that place is a real place? Is there a real? I mean, there are white people, but they're like, is there for real?
No, I've had black people. I had black people give me that long look like, you're not serious. Wait a minute.
That's for real, dog. That's for real. There are for real people that are like,
can I do a little bit?
Was it for a real play? Was it? Because, it's, the setup is so brilliant because those do exist. You know what I mean?
And people are making money. They're selling T-shirts with me on it. You know what I'm saying? It's
wild.
Stuff that's happening. And so I'm saying, I ain't hating on your hustle. I'm just saying it's time for me to get hustling like you have.
If you just started watching or listening for the first time because you were like, oh, I heard this 100th episode shit. Somebody told me this might be something to check out. The way this started is pretty much how it works all the time. We just fall right into talking about crazy, hard, wild shit. We're all
look. Let me tell you some behind the scenes.
Generation X people, so we don't give nan fucks.
Let me tell you some
We
behind
watching
the
y'all
scenes.
lose like we lost. We already just like, well, we lost, so fuck it. Let's tell you how we lost. Maybe y'all won't have to lose so hard. You know what I mean?
There's
Like,
some behind the scenes baseball. I'm using my laptop as a monitor. I'm watching us, and I didn't realize that James had went to it looked like a monitor screen. That's what people at home or you watching or wherever you watching, that's what they're seeing right now. I didn't realize that, and it looked like the mouse on my laptop was being controlled by somebody else, and I was about to lose my shit. I'm applauding myself internally for not freaking the fuck out, because I for real was like, I've been hacked. I'm being hacked right now. Like, and then it's like,
That's why I didn't put you on my Wi-Fi.
Oh my god.
It terrified me.
watch you just stand up and take that laptop and just break it like you're fucking like you're Derek Zoolander, like you're just fucking.
I was like, they're about to get it all. They're about to get it all.
Oh my god.
Shit, I'm gonna be poor people.
Oh my god. Hey man. I just can't. You are so Kareem. You are so Kareem. He
Most
said, "They're
Kareem."
about to get it all.
I thought they got me, man. I was like, these niggas got me. My motherfucking PC medic can't do shit for me. These niggas got me, man. Oh shit. Oh my god.
That, ladies and gentlemen. That, ladies and gentlemen,
That man grew up in the suburbs,
is
y'all.
the difference. Is the difference between Inglewood and Naperville. Cause if they'd have got my shit, I'd be like, it ain't that much.
Hope you fix it, nigga. Good luck. Send it back with a 700.
I was, oh my god. God, thank God I can. Oh god,
Shit, man.
oh my god, I'm so glad I realized that shit. Like I had to.
Also,
minimize
his
the
immediate
screen.
thought was they are going into my finances to take me for everything. Not like they're just getting in here to, like, I don't know, hack into some passwords, find out my list, fucking
You know
sell
what I'm
some
saying?
shit.
See
you
what
know
they
I
can
mean?
get at me, you know. But that's what capitalism makes you
Oh,
have to do.
man.
The first thing I'm looking for is your money. I ain't
There are a
looking-
few of us Generation Xers that have a
fuck.
little cash. Oh man,
Yes,
this
sir.
is the 100th episode. Rob, we didn't start with you, but you have been one of the. I don't make a ton of smart decisions. You've been. So a lot of times I'm like, well, I hope I can cover that one up with another bright idea.
Hey man,
But man, you have been like a prize to add on here. It's been a fun trying to find out what technology that you have and haven't learned as we go on a daily basis. I love figuring out what you may or may not have read in a group chat. It's just
Dude, hey, if there's anybody who's like an AV type, I don't know what it's called AV anymore. What the fuck ever it's called? That was an OG moment right there. Somebody who does shit with video clips and wants to
And
like
you might be
intern.
right. It's just the fact you question the whole terminology.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I don't know, is this even politically correct to say
I just-
AV
yeah.
person?
yeah. Y'all
whatever.
see me yesterday. Can I say what? Can I?
Can I say
Yeah.
audio visual? Is that
Audiovisual sexual. I don't know what the fuck it is. But if there's people out there that want to intern because we ain't got no money yet, I ain't got no money to give to you. If you want to be on the show, or you want to help us out with the show, you could watch Rob Hines and mine too, because Bobby is cool, both of us. You can watch our technology growth, because you can just go back through episodes and just take clips.
Yeah,
of
it's
very funny
amazing.
shit.
Like, if you go back through the history of the show, you like if you go backwards, if you watch them in reverse, you guys turn into cavemen. It's pretty wild. You just like slowly devolve into people who are just like, I'm just not working.
I'll be honest with you, man.
Here, fix it.
It's so crazy because, you know, when I come here, I know we can get some work done. So I start thinking like, man, I got to get more organized because it don't take much organization to be on my couch. You know what I mean? So when I got here, I was
Easy
like,
to plan for. You look at that Google Calendar, it's like empty.
and that's the thing.
Guess I didn't do a shit today.
I love Google. I hate them at the same time because I count on them so much.
Right.
Like, I don't have to remember shit.
Hey man, that is the God that I pray to. I committed to Google a long time ago.
Yeah.
Everything in my crib is Google. Fuck Apple.
Here's the
I
thing.
barely fuck with Microsoft. I'm about to let them
Google-
niggas go too.
Man, Google is working with my Apple.
No, Google work with everything, but
that's just Apple need that sweet money.
Yeah, but
they ain't gonna lose. If Google is the only thing you're missing, dog, we gonna give you Google too. You know what I mean? Like, anything to buy this fucking phone.
Hey.
All right, just buy the fucking phone. We'll give you Google. All right, you want Google shit? We don't even use our shit, dog. It's like just live in my house. You don't even gotta fuck me. You ain't gotta fuck. Just live in my house. Just pay a little on the mortgage. Just pay a little on the mortgage. You ain't gotta fuck. You can even get your own bedroom. We don't give a fuck. You fuck other niggas here. I don't give a shit.
This is how much I dislike Apple, nigga. Me and my son and me and my son's mother do not have this relationship. This was 100% about Apple, not about them. But when we were at the store, my son, we were getting free phones or free upgrades. And he said he wanted the iPhone 12. In my mind, I was like, that shit's going to cost me money. And I was like, you getting the phone, you getting the best phone you can get. I don't have to pay nothing. and he goes, my mom wants me to get an iPhone. And I like literally, your mom can come down here and get your motherfucking phone. And it had nothing to do with his mom. That's not a shot at her. It was all about like, I didn't want to get an iPhone. And the dude at the store was like, it's cool. The iPhone 12 is free upgrade for him. And I was like, well, it's free. I don't give a fuck. But
right. Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't want that shit in my life.
Do you understand the difference in people's struggle? Right? If I was a little dude and my mother said, I got you a telephone, I'd be like, what? And I don't mean a portable phone. I mean in my room. You take a regular old fucking landline.
I mean, my mom was a single parent, and I remember she was a teacher, and she would do all this extra shit to make extra money. So she wouldn't be getting home till like 7, 8 o'clock at night half the time. And I remember when she bought a bag phone back when they had bag phones.
Yeah.
It was,
I
it looked like she was
those.
carrying like a fucking gun turret over. I mean, she lifted this thing. It was like I swear to God, she got a
It
stronger.
looked very military.
She got tennis elbow from lifting that shit. That's what she literally just fucking. She put that on her shoulder and be like, all right, I'll see you later. And she'd fucking carry that motherfucker. She's 5'3", so she'd carry this fucking phone out to the car.
Yep.
And then it was a phone that she could call, and she was like, this is for me to call people with emergencies. Like, I didn't have the number to the bag phone. That's how. So because it was so she could call somebody, but it was so expensive.
Yeah, shit was insane. That shit was insane. Every minute count. I had me and my brother split the master bedroom because we were both so big. We needed the space. And my grandfather built like a kind of a 3/4 wall between, so we both had privacy. He went away to the Air Force, and I just had a big ass room with 2 sides, right? And my mom, inadvertently, she loved to decorate. Like, that was her favorite shit, decorate. She loved decorating.
That's my mom. Yep.
I still to this day hate anything to do with. I let other people do that shit. I hate it because I used to have to do that shit on my spring break. But anyway, the point of the story is she unintentionally turned my bedroom into a fuck palace because I literally had
made your shit look like a boudoir.
I had black silk starlight wallpaper.
Oh shit!
That at night I had like one of those lights that it looked like it sparkled and shit. I had a water bed. I had it's like between a queen and a single. The full size heated water bed. And the walls that weren't wallpaper black, they were painted black, and that was the bedside. And then the other side had like a couch and a TV, so like a lounge to set up, and then the girl goes in the room. And I had my own fine line.
Did you have dudes trying to pay to like use the spot? Like, hey man, can I use I got like a 50 on you? I don't want you to hotel room, but your place is so fly. I know I'm gonna win in this
50?
motherfucker.
Hey,
50, you could get a hotel, nigga. Let me give you $3, nigga. Let me call it that.
Hey, I'm not going to disclose because my mama might. She watches
a different type of
episodes
woman,
every
Rob.
now
I
and
don't know
then.
what the fuck you was doing.
I'm poor. It ain't got shit to do with the grade of woman. It's because I'm poor. I got $3. Can I use the room? That's it. That's all.
You said $3 hoe. Goddamn.
He said $3.
No,
He was like, "Why would you pay more than $3?" And I was like, "Oh shit."
I'm saying
He's talking about for the space, not
right.
for the
Yes.
So we all know that's $40.
Dig, dude.
That's the standard.
Dude, when I was young, because I'm a little older than y'all. You could get a joint for $18 with $3 you get back for a key deposit. And you could get a hot link sandwich.
You talking about the space.
Yeah.
Wait, they have food at the joint?
You get in the joint downstairs.
Oh, in the joint, yeah.
Yes. In the hotel, it wasn't the same space, but they shared the lot.
Oh, okay.
So you could get a hot link sandwich for the $3 that next morning.
Hey. I'm in a happy situation right now, so I'm gonna do a little favor. I usually charge motherfuckers. But this is some Excel's keys to pussy.
You give some free game out.
Excel's keys to pussy.
Excel's giving out free game.
Hey.
Besides being 6'7",
if you
on top of being 6'7" and black, also do this.
If you are 6'7" and black,
and you also pull this move, you for sure go fuck probably.
Oh my God! If you have already established a life of being better than everyone, if you have already established such life, then you can do some really nice little shit to add on to it, like flowers or something, whatever this incredible.
If
shit.
your computer moves a little bit, you have automatically assumed that all your finances are being stripped away from you. Here's one other move you can do to ensure that you will get some pussy.
Proceed.
What's your key?
I was just saying, you was talking about the place with the food. All I was gonna say was buy the bitch a meal. Buy the bitch a meal. Hey man, don't complain. Buy the bitch a meal. Get her whatever the fuck she want. She's gonna give you some pussy. If the pussy's not worth a sandwich, what are you doing?
Right.
Get some better pussy.
Right. Yeah.
Although I don't think there's such a thing as bad pussy, but I can't judge for everybody else.
As someone who has occasionally met
it's a pussy I don't want, but I ain't saying nothing wrong with it. It's gonna feel the same.
My thought, the negative energy that you feeling for me had nothing to do with that. What I was thinking is, you're right. But that's not the reason that I did it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I did it because we here, let's eat. I was a fat dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, fat dudes like to eat. If I'm going to eat, you eat too.
I've occasionally run into an end of an evening situation where, like, it's not an eating hour. I mean, it's an eating hour, but it's not it's not an eating hour. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like we went too late into the evening to be hungry for anything but a thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but if they got the place, if the diner's open, buy the bitch a meal.
If it's a diner, sure.
Yeah, if it's like a midnight place, like Jewtown. Jewtown is never closed.
Jewtown?
Oh God, I just said that.
Damn.
Oh,
Yeah. There it is, everybody. Our 100th and last episode.
all the black people like, what'd he say? I'm toast.
My dad came back to life just to be like, I ain't see no problem with this.
hey man, I remember a tribe.
I spent many a day.
I remember a tribe. I think I get a pass.
Oh my God!
So you might have to. I mean, you might have to show off a certificate or something.
I can do that. I can do that.
Yeah, you have to wear a necklace or something.
You might have to start wearing a necklace.
I used to. This actually used to be that.
Maybe bust the yarn out.
It was. I used to call. I had a. Anyway. Never mind. Let's go. I had a Star David ball thing on here that it was the weirdest thing. I swear this is not exaggeration. Every time I talk to a woman, they look at it and they go, "What's that?" And I go, "Catnip." And every time right after I said catnip, they touch it and go, "Really? Why do you call it that?" And I just go like every single time. It was literally like
men on top of being 6'7" and black. If you could just wear
hey man,
it was a dope little ball. Somebody stole it.
Dude, we are brilliant. I'm saying, like, the way the thing that makes us special is the way we negotiate through bullshit. And the simple reasons why. You know what I mean? Like, no matter how dominance can be exerted in many different ways. We had this discussion yesterday. But if I'm looking at a situation, I'm like, how can I get what I want?
Right.
Then if I do these things, I'm pretty sure this person gonna do what I want them to do.
Ideally, some of that is subconscious, right? Because
yes, that's exactly what it is.
There's a whole genre of men who are into the whole idea of teaching the art of these magical steps. That you
No.
I'm talking about a situation where somebody's like, we're hanging out, and I'm like, I'm not even talking about this as a negotiation to get what I want. I'm talking about we already decided that's what we about to do.
Right.
And I'm like, hey, by the way, Let's get a meal. Let's get you. I hope to. Let's get you
You
something.
don't even have to eat it. I just need to get something you can take it with you. I need to get you to go back.
Hey, Derek Jeter used to give gift baskets.
I know.
I don't got Derek Jeter though, but I can
Nobody
get you.
said anything poor about Derek Jeter either. He was always
Yeah, there you
well
go.
revered by the women he bedded.
Hey, somebody got to. Hey, a fat bitch don't tell no lies.
You know
man.
who's fucking tonight? Joe Biden. Joe Biden's fucking tonight. Joe Biden has struck an infrastructure deal. Look at even James Webb is ready with it. He's fucking got Joe Biden has struck an infrastructure deal with Republicans, not the size that we were hoping for, but like we knew that was.
So what they're just saying is going to happen is it's going to be a two-piece. Okay, the deal that they struck with the Republicans. What this allows
That's for black people, by the way. You know, they're calling it a two-piece. They're just like, this will keep all the angry black people calm.
The deal struck with the Republicans.
Look at what the shit is called.
The two-track. Hit him with the two-track.
Hit him with
the A side, B side.
But it's a brilliant. It's actually a really brilliant compromise because it allows everybody to save face. If it actually happens, there's a big if on this because some progressives have some problems with it, conservatives have some problems with it, but that's how this shit works. We only need 5 more motherfuckers. 5 people put their name on it already, so if they don't vote for it, well, fuck them. January 6th niggas go get them. Like something's wrong with them. But
yeah.
Oh, wow. I'm sorry. That was the joke. I didn't take that back. I do not want. No. I did not mean that. Look, I'm sorry. That was kidding. That was a joke.
X. Let's be honest with one another, man. I mean, at what point do the shit get ridiculous? We are fucking comedians.
Well,
bitches, we joking. If you feel like you was finna do that shit anyway, don't blame my.
So here's the thing: we've done 100 shows, right? And like this is the tone of the show. This is what's going on. The world is insane right now because this is like we're supposed to.
There's 6 people watching. I don't know why I'm tripping, but
I don't know. But they're supposed to we're supposed to get excited about you know what I mean? Like we all know where we're at. Where what is it? 50 senators represent 41 million more people than the other group, right? Like the deal is rigged already. It's already set up where they're going to redraw the districts and all the shit that matters, and we're going to be right back into some bullshit because this is the most votes don't even matter.
Yeah.
Because we got the Democrats got the most votes.
By a lot.
They got the most votes by a fucking lot.
By a ton.
And they don't control what goes on. There's no control over what's happening. And so if you haven't figured out by 100 shows, this shit is shot. And so the only thing we can do is try and laugh and figure out some way between there how we can either make a bunch of money or destroy a bunch of weird shit.
So here's the thing. This is why I like
destroy a bunch of
just like all these dumb ideas, we're just gonna fucking make them so stupid.
GameStop,
you know what I mean?
table for everybody.
Right.
Let me say this. This is why I'm gonna get. I'm not whatever for Joe Biden or whatever. Here's what I'm saying that's dope about the plan. The Democrats were gonna do the infrastructure thing. Joe Biden ran on that he was gonna be able to reach across the aisle. Blah blah blah. Right. So this allows him to look like he's doing that. And also by doing the shit through reconciliation,
the second half through
they're gonna do
right.
a ton of fuck. They're gonna do actually more than I think that he initially asked for.
Yeah, some of the Democrats aren't fully. They're like, this is still not enough. I love how
I heard somebody drop $6 trillion.
Yeah, I love. Well, you know the nigga who dropped $6 trillion, dog. Dude, here's what happened. Joe Biden was like, I think 2.2 trillion is enough, and the Republicans were like, how about 900 billion? Bernie Sanders, 6.1 trillion, bitch. Boom!
Jayapal just said that shit this
Bernie
morning.
Been pushing that shit. He's the one.
6 trillion. They talk about 6 trillion. They running up. They like, we're doing healthcare.
Joe threw some shit out, and the Republicans countered with some lower shit, and Bernie was like, how about higher?
That's how you ball on these
Rob
niggas.
Sounds like he's either not impressed.
No.
But that's how you ball on a motherfucker. You raise them up. You're like, look, nigga, we're not going down. We raising this shit up because they at the end of the day they were gonna do it through reconciliation eventually anyway.
I used to sit where X sits, not in the room, but as an ideology.
Right. I as well.
I'm just saying it for the people who might not have got it. But in that position, everything that he says makes sense from that perspective. But if we look at the reality, and I'm not saying that you're not, I'm just saying this shit was never a democracy. So when they started it and when they made whatever they made, or it was never meant to be, because first of all, it's not a fucking democracy.
Hamilton lied to
Republic.
It's a republic. And so in the making of that shit, in the making of doing that, they always talk about the minority taking rule and all such shit, because they knew they would bring people over here that they didn't want working here in the beginning. Right, so right around the time that they decided it was a democracy and started to let more people take advantage of it, they had more people that they didn't want to take advantage available in the situation. So what is the best way to do that? Ensure that the only real power comes from a small group of people that our families control.
Yeah, and I mean, this place is currently set up in that. I mean, that's the way that it's built out. The reason why the Electoral College exists, the reason why the Senate is structured the way it is, the reason why two people can represent both, 30 million people and 600,000 people.
Like, I didn't realize
the
this.
same
New York
pull.
City is bigger than like 30 states.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't realize that, or more than that.
Yeah.
James, how much is it? Do you know?
What's what?
New York City is bigger than this many states. I believe the number might be 37.
I know it's 2% of the population.
Yeah.
Jesus.
New York City.
Wow.
Just the city.
And the entire state of New York, which also has some other pretty decent sized cities in it,
Yeah.
is like 2 senators.
And
they
the
have the same pull as Wyoming.
And Wyoming
And
in the
state
Senate,
of
which is
California
insane.
got more people than the state of New York.
I mean, California's GDP is something like 8th in the world.
Yeah. No, 6th. I believe it's 6th. Like,
That's just crazy. It's a crazy deal. And so like
New York City has more people than 40 of the 50 states.
40 of the
Get
50
the
states.
fuck
New
out.
York City. That's why the
Wow.
being mayor of New York City is Michael Bloomberg, I can't remember who he said this to, but they were talking about how arrogant he was, where he said to somebody who was a senator, he was like, dude, there's only 2 jobs in America that really matter: president and mayor of New York City. Enjoy campaigning for dollars. Or some shit like that.
That's some New York boastful ass shit, man. New Yorkers always be doing shit like that. Some shit that has not gone right. There was a Voting Rights Act. Actually, they're just trying to vote to see if they could argue about the fucking bill. It did fail in the Senate because, of course, there's the filibuster exists. And the bill itself is a message bill. It's not a. They don't. There's a couple types of bills. There's bills that actually are like ready to be laws, and then there's this shit that's just like you throw a bunch
There's
of
voter
shit out
right,
to
and then
see
there's
if
the actual HR one. I can't remember. Are those the same
yeah,
one?
this is huge. This has
One
all
of them
types
is
of shit. This
We
is
the
going to end
People or
gerrymandering. This is going to end all types of crazy shit. And it was like. It was not designed to do that. It was designed to make people take stances on some ideas and some policies. There's shit in bills like these that is like even contradictory sometimes. So you'll get different different shit from each one. But again, it puts this thing out here where like Kirsten Sinema is now all of a sudden getting all this play because she put out this op-ed. She was, here's a bill that they're not going to pass, largely because, she's still sticking by the filibuster. She's on stage when they pass the infrastructure bill with Manchin. It's just, it's the same bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, it's one of those things where, like the idea of Democrats keeping the House in next year is not, it does not seem realistic to me.
Okay.
That doesn't seem like a realistic thing to me.
I say to you that
Because when they
next
redraw
month,
those districts,
I say to you next month, the payments that Joe Biden put into the care package for people with children kick in. They start getting them. They start hitting people's bank accounts.
that motherfucker
And-
better be stamped with his goddamn picture on it.
Yeah,
That shit better look like those Disney dollars.
I
They got
believe-
Scrooge McDuck on the front of the
I
motherfucker.
believe-
They better be Joel's ass just like rubbing some kid's shoulders. Just fucking
With aviators on.
I've seen.
yeah, aviators with dollar signs in the center of them motherfuckers. Just
I've
like, here's your
seen-
fucking Biden bucks.
I've seen news stories. I've seen news stories talking about like when it's going to be there, what's it going to be like stuff. So it has to be coming pretty soon because literally it's like a regular thing that I've seen pop up in USA Today.
The
type
check
shits.
stub should straight up come in like an envelope that has a stamp on it and like
With
a
just
cool
some
box
aviators.
with just
Some aviators.
You should get some type of memorabilia. You know what I mean? Just be like, no, we ain't even
Yes.
tax to pay us for this. We just pulled that out of this man's. We just had a fund or something. You know what I mean?
And
Like,
it should come to you. It should come to you via Amazon for free.
oh shit! They should drone it into you with a solar powered drone. To be like, this is the fucking future you could get.
Yeah, man, I know that's a big deal because my little sister just talked about it.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
little sister like, yeah, they're gonna start giving us that tax money next month. I was like, really?
Yeah, and so families will know that, and they know that came 100% from the Democrats. I believe that is why
You have to convince them that there weren't Jewish space lasers that started fires, though. Like some of those people, no. I'm not convinced.
Whoa. I'm not talking about winning Trump voters. Fuck them.
You're gonna have to because that's how we redraw some of those districts.
Let me finish what I'm saying. The problem that Democrats have in midterms isn't just them redrawing the districts and stuff like that. We just have low voter turnout. Our people come out during presidential elections,
right?
And the way that you keep people motivated is we just sent you motherfuckers 2 years worth of payments for your little bratty ass children.
They better be,
and they are going to be. That's their
shit.
plan. That's the plan. I think the only reason why we haven't seen it is because people haven't got the checks yet. They're gonna wait probably till week 2 of people getting those checks.
He better be going to fucking Best Buy with motherfuckers being like, "How you spend your $3,600?" Joe Biden needs to go up like,
"How them Xbox like?"
Yeah, Joe Biden needs to be like man on the street with that shit. They need to send Joe Biden on a countrywide tour where he just pull up on a motherfucker who's about to go into like a Best Buy or some shit or into a furniture spot and be like, "You get your check this week? Let's go spend some of this motherfucker." They just go in there. They jump on beds together and fucking try out video games.
No, that's not what you do.
Also, you know how? I don't say go.
What you do is you put it in the furniture. You don't put it like you put a picture of him, and then like so he ain't got to be all the ways there. Picture him with a bunch of words on it, like when you first get your computer with a bunch of words, and you fill it out and say, "You would have had this shit."
If it wasn't for these Biden bucks.
If it wasn't for Biden bucks, you wouldn't be buying this motherfucker. Just a little note and everything you buy, just like a little card where you're just like when you pull up in the instructions or whatever package comes with it, you just get like you obviously you know how you got this right,
and then. Go to the people who at the top of the pyramid and say, if you keep letting me give them shit, you will continue to win.
Yeah. So here's the thing. Let me say this one thing real quick. Shout out. Look, not shout out. There's no shout out here. Fellas, hear me. Please hear me on this.
Shout outs.
If your baby mama still acting shitty to you after next month, she don't love you, dog. Move the fuck on. Because it ain't about the money no more. The government giving her money for them kids.
Yeah,
she just not fucking with you, man. Because it ain't even about the money no more.
She paying now.
She getting bread.
The government is basically paying your shit right now.
Yeah, they picking up. If she's still not trying to fuck with you, nigga, just hey, man, you know. Hey.
Yeah, what she did
is what it is.
What she did is she calculated like extra. She like, now we really going about the boss. She probably cut her hours and shit.
I ain't even got to talk to this nigga no more.
Yeah, she free. She fully free now.
Especially if y'all got 2-3 kids, because it's for each kid. It's like $300 for each kid.
Yeah, she
so y'all got 2-3 kids. She got extra $600 plus there's a bump in any aid that they get. Like if they get SNAP, there's a bump in that too, that of $200, $240, I think, like that. Like if they getting both of them, and she still ain't trying to fuck. Leave her alone, man.
Damn, that's
you know who also is about to get paid is some college athletes.
Boom!
College athletes about to get paid.
Not as much as they should, but yes.
No, but they're gonna get something.
Yes.
I mean,
better than nothing.
You were a college athlete. I was briefly a college athlete.
Not me.
It was. It's
a college shooter, man.
It's wild, man. It is definitely more like the interesting thing is that there are other fields you can go into where there's stipends that you get for shit all the time.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like, I specifically know someone who went to school to be a psychologist. There's all types of extra money you can get granted for that you don't have to pay back because you're a fucking psychology student.
There was a dude on our team. There was a dude on our team who I think at one point at our school was like the smartest kid on internet shit and all that stuff. Like they used his stuff to recruit other kids. So Odie was his name, and that's his really nickname. And he couldn't get a stipend that he would have gotten if he didn't play basketball. He also, because he had a basketball scholarship, there was money that he could have gotten as a coder or whatever the fuck he did that he wasn't eligible to get because he played basketball. It looks like it's
a favor.
Yeah. And he qualified for that shit. Because I think there was another kid that got it because he couldn't get it.
Yeah, it is a thing that I've thought was wild for a long time, in which these kids come and like they create situations for largely, oftentimes changing a little bit now, but for a long time, grown older white men to be able to come in and make massive millions of dollars deciding on the fates of these young, oftentimes people of color, in the major sports, in the sports that make the most money for the university, right? Like football on the pro level is like I don't know, was it 80% black, 60, 60
Yes,
something?
yeah,
It's like 60
almost
something or
80.
80% black
Yeah,
or something.
almost
Like.
80.
The NBA is largely black and international, so you
Yeah.
have these older American white men deciding the fate of these like young black, oftentimes people of color, you know what I mean, trying to get into their league and perform, who are making millions of dollars, right?
Even before you can get there.
And you get there and you perform, and like you have to handle
Billions of dollars. You said millions, billions of dollars.
Well, the coaches get paid millions.
Oh, you said
the
coaches. I'm
university's
sorry.
making billions.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
network is making an insane amount of money, right?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
not, so much so that individual conferences have started to have their own network. Big
Absolutely.
Ten network. They knew there was a slice of money for them in broadcasting the shows, which means hiring a whole team of network people that you also are paying. You think if you work for the Big Ten network and you're going to be on your talent, you're making fucking $40,000 a year. You're not. You're making way fucking more than that.
They
And
make
it's also,
all that money, and these are all nonprofit. Every school in NCAA, I believe, is nonprofit except for like. Maybe Notre Dame. Oh, I think all of them are nonprofit. Most they say they are. The NCAA
Notre Dame is
is
an independent.
the
Yeah.
NCAA is a nonprofit organization, right? So they're not supposed to make any money. So where the fuck is all these $1 billion that they selling all this shit? Where the fuck is that going? All these they got the Big Ten network,
The reality
SEC
is
network,
that
ACC network.
none of it exists without the efforts of these human beings that go through their ringer. Many of whom do not play beyond college.
Most of whom, the vast majority of whom.
The vast majority of whom either are playing in a sport where there isn't a future of money-making potential in it, or are playing in a sport where the money-making potential is so great that the chance of getting onto that scene is even at the college level is incredibly minimal, and you are suffering injuries, you are missing time from class, you know what I mean? And
as I sit around, and because everybody, a lot of my family, a lot of my friends were athletes.
yeah.
A lot of my family and friends are athletes. And I figured like I just didn't want to do that. But I was like, I guess if I'd have tried, I probably could. But the most important thing to me when I think about it is the amount of physical exertion that you have to give. I mean, and I was listening to people talk about.
I mean, there's a high in that though.
I'm not. No. I'm saying if you're able to do it. No. But I'm saying the effort that you have to. Because when I watched Anthony Davis, man, Anthony Davis plays the game like a smaller person.
Right.
Now he's got these long limbs, and now all that stuff is getting under all of this inertia and pressure on all of his joints. It's no wonder he can even walk.
Yeah.
Let alone jump and do all the other stuff he do.
Yeah.
And then you do all this in college, and you may not be good enough to make it to the next level because Anthony Davis exists. Because this nigga's on the planet. You ain't gonna get there. At least you should be able to get a start.
Yeah.
Wow.
And when anybody who's watching this and I hate when people have this conversation, they get a chance at a college education, blah, blah, blah. It's really not like that. Like I went to two schools. Louisville did not give a fuck. The bigger, more well-known school did not give a fuck about me going to class. They had no intention of me going to class. I graduated with 2 degrees in 3 years. I was not one of those dumb jocks from a different school. Louisville didn't want me to go to school. They wanted me in the fucking weight room becoming a giant fucker.
I mean, even more important than that, like that education is that education you're being given is not compensation. That's not a fair compensation for what you provide for the school.
I agree.
Right?
I agree.
Like, because if you're a brainiac and you get a full ride to Louisville on some shit,
you ain't gotta lift weights.
You can also go get a fucking job. You can also get a real fucking job and go work off campus somewhere. But as an athlete, not only are you coming there and shining out as a student at the school, being a name they can have there, you are also doing something in the school's name that is creating for them an insane amount of money, right? And for that, you deserve something to sustain yourself while you're in school. And the other part of this is it takes away from all these penalties that happen to kids because they're fucking hungry or they want to go on a date or somebody slick talks them and they're 18 years old and fucking don't have great leadership when they first get there, and they get talked into taking a car or receiving a suit or getting a free tattoo.
Dude.
You know what I mean? That makes them ineligible to play playing all these games that make or break the fact of whether they make millions of dollars at the whole next level of their thing and get branded as somebody who breaks the rules before they even get there, right? And so, like,
they dogged Randy Moss. They dogged Randy Moss.
Dude, a movie people need to really watch, an old school movie from the 90s, or OG classic, He Got Game. That shit, He Got Game, and there's another one I can't think of that was even better about the recruiting.
Blue Chips.
Blue Chips, yes!
Shaquille O'Neal.
Blue Chips is real as fuck because I didn't get recruited.
McNulty as the coach.
I didn't get recruited like that for basketball, but for football, like when I went to Louisville, there was a ton of shit that they did that was like mad recruiting violations that I had no fucking idea about until I got to St. Joe's, because at St. Joe's, they did shit right, and they were like, "You can't do." I was like, "Where do I get this?" There was a window that I could go to at the athletic center that I could just be like, "Hey, I need a sweatshirt and some sweatpants and like 3 or 4 pair of shorts," and somebody would just be like, "What? XX, right? XL? Yeah, that's what I was back then." and they go just give me some shit, and I just signed for it as a member of the team, and I would be fucking Gucci Niked up in the newest shit anytime I wanted. Like, literally, that was like, oh shit, I had the Jerry Jeter thinking before, because that was like the thing. Like, you hit a girl on campus and then, hey, you get a sweatshirt, you get a Cardinal t-shirt or some shit like that, whatever, right?
Wow.
Because we get the shit free. So when I went to St. Joe, I was kind of looking for that shit. St. Joe's much smaller school, not even don't know that level of competitive or whatever. It was like, what the fuck are you talking? Like, nah, it ain't like that. Yeah, I was like, it was a fucking culture shock.
And
for
that's
me.
why they don't get the best kids.
Yeah. Well, you know,
that's why my old ass
you know
had
what-
shot
you know
down.
what's
Saying, like,
here's
no.
what's wild though is that, like, what I think this is going to allow, and then we'll get into the next thing, is like it's going to allow some schools that may have people who have a good amount of money to put into the school that maybe doesn't have a greater reputation as a competitive school to be able to start competing. You know what I mean?
I've said this for the longest time. Colleges, like, this is a way to make everybody money. Like, local, because they used to do shit at Louisville. There was a car dealership that the way he used to sponsor as a whatever, I forgot what the Cardinal sponsors was.
Booster.
He used to give. Like LeBradford Smith was there when I was at Louisville, and LeBradford Smith had I wish I could remember. I think it was like a Nissan, the sports car.
Oh, the 300Z?
Supra, the cool one. He had one of those, and he did a test drive for the whole fucking school year. So he didn't buy it; it wasn't his.
Right.
It still had dealer plates on it. Because I was like, I remember I saw that shit, and then like 4 months into the school year, I'm like, why does this nigga still have dealer plates on? It's like, oh, because he's just test driving that. That's something he might want to get when he goes to the league.
That's so wild.
Yeah,
It's such a
I'm
wild
telling stories on LeBradford Smith, but I don't know that nigga like that. But I ain't talked to that nigga since the '90s. But it is what it is.
There's been some voting going on in New York. It's been a wild situation. You were talking about New York being a super important place. The first thing I want to talk about is a vote that happened in Buffalo, where India Wong, a black woman, actually won the seat. She's a socialist.
Yeah.
She's a socialist who won the seat for mayor of Buffalo, which, if you remember, Buffalo is a place that had a bunch of issues, a bunch of protests. I know
That's a black Karen. But keep going.
Hey man, it's
the good Karen, not the wicked Karen.
It's a winning mayor in Buffalo. You know what I mean? Who's
She
also
literally has pearls to clutch.
She just has that look like, wait, do you have your permit for that? But that's what you want for a mayor. Like, that's
Right.
the mayor's gig. Like, that's the whole thing. I'm not shitting on her. I'm saying that. Look at that expression. You don't want to see that coming for you if you're the manager of anything.
Yeah, it's
So here's the situation.
Yeah.
That's what that look is.
Yeah, somebody at your establishment fucked up when you see that look coming at you, man. That's not somebody that's. And I don't want
So what
anybody
you're
to
saying
think
is
like
it's gonna
we.
be good for Buffalo. This is
Yes,
gonna
I
make
believe
Buffalo-
that. I am complimenting
This
her
is gonna
because
make
she
Buffalo-
looks like somebody who gets shit done.
Right.
Like I'm saying this. Anybody watching this like, I'm saying this in love. She looks like somebody who's gonna get some shit accomplished.
Yeah, and as you know, again, I think one of the most important things is like woman of color, black woman, socialist. Those are some things of winning, like as a mayor, that or any party. Like, you know, one of the things I talk about when it comes to the further left parties, Democratic, Socialists, and on further, is like you can't just. And I tell the same thing to libertarians is like I don't see y'all winning any lower level races anywhere. Like if you want to, the way power gets built up to is you have to be the comptroller. You got to be the city manager. You got to be the fucking. You got to be the ADA of the fucking county. You know what I mean? Like you got to win those places, and then all of a sudden you're like, well, listen, I've been a Democratic socialist who's been running as the comptroller for this long. Shit working. Okay, well now I could be a senator. You know what I mean? Like, but this thing where like I see libertarians all the time. They trot out this person for president. And it's like, well, what the fuck else?
What do y'all do?
Like, why y'all trying to build a pyramid from the top down? That's just not, you know what I mean? Like, I've been in a multi-level marketing scheme. It doesn't work that way. You don't just start out with a giant group. You know what I mean?
You have to have never been at the bottom to know that.
That is also a thing. Maybe not starting at the bottom, but maybe you believe like that's what. You ever see supervillains who are just like, go out and get me some lackeys? You know what I mean?
Yes. See, and that's what libertarians are usually. It's the old dude that got money and want to smoke weed in peace, and then it's his sons and his grandsons.
Yeah. The wild race has gone on in New York City. They're doing ranked choice voting for the first time.
Yeah. I dig that.
It is. They have
because that's the true candidate, I think.
So they've had a really interesting situation because I think Maya Wiley was probably a leading candidate at the time, and then everything started coming out about the homicide rates in New York. And like crime is down, but homicide is like super up, and that seems to be a thing everywhere.
Yeah.
But I mean, crime is down. Like part of me is just like, hey man, crime is down. Isn't this cool?
Hey, I'm gonna tell you a little secret. Homicide rates ain't changed. Here's what they do.
What they're marking as homicide has changed.
There
I remember
you go.
when that dude who came through Chicago got into trouble because they were marking things as they were trying to bring the homicide rates down, and so they were changing some of the reasons.
I'm from y'all joke all the time about neighborhood, but I'm from Aurora, and I talk about this all the time. I'm from a town that at one point, percentage-wise, not in total number, but percentage-wise, had a higher murder rate than Chicago in the 90s. And when the first years I moved back here and started doing comedy, they had 1 year where they said there were no murders in Aurora. And I was like, fuck you. Would you just dragging bodies like, oh, look at this, West Naperville, just funny. Like, why all like the fucking all the suburbs around Aurora, like fucking murder rate went up because cops were dragging the body across the city line and some shit like that. Get the fuck out of here. No, in a year, a city of 250,000 people, not one motherfucker was murdered.
Here's what you're getting at. In New York, the calls for defunding the police have been loud.
Yeah.
There's a lot, George Floyd amplified previous shit with like Eric Garner and all these other situations that have happened. And it's the calls for defunding the police or some version of something, whatever you want to call it, to make it work for wherever your brain is of being able to handle what defund means, have been loud. And Maya Wiley, as a progressive leader, has, although she's not called for defunding the police, her action, where she stands on things is basically like, just don't say the fucking word, okay? We're going to do everything but say the word. Now, I will say this Eric Adams dude, although he does have a weird situation, right? Like, dude, they're not sure whether he lives in New Jersey or New York, which is a thing.
Yeah, he had the whole, like, fake apartment,
he had a video.
Apartment
So,
was like
you gotta
his
be a mayor,
son's
you gotta
place.
live in the city. And he got a place in New Jersey. He has a place in New York, apparently, but they're not sure if it's his place or his kid's place. But he is a cop. He's a former cop.
Yeah.
The thing about it is, though, he's a guy who became a cop after he was in an assault and battery situation with a cop. He's one of those guys who got in because he wanted to change the system from the inside. Now, after being a guy who's been a cop for that long, how much are you corrupted, right? Like, this is the test of my... when my dad first sat me down and tried to break down, like, the insanity of the world in a way that, like, I could grasp, right? Mm-hmm. And how the system existed. And, like, I remember being like, well, why doesn't somebody just, like, fake it and go, like, undercover and go in the system? And he's like, because there's so many tests that you have to, like, sell a piece of your soul to get to be in control of the system, that by the time you have a seat at the table, you're different from the guy who came in there. You are a part of the machine that's going on. And so,
because you've seen the barter system of selling your
they're
soul a little bit,
no.
Give you small gains
sometimes
to the
you
point
don't
where
even
you
realize
think
that you've done it until it's over. You know what I mean? Like the things you get asked to do that you go, yeah, no big deal, and you realize what you've cost on the other. Like in TV shows, they always have some you always have some hero who jumps in to tell them, like, if you do that, you're gonna do this, and the person can have a change of heart. But most of the time, there's nobody to tell you what the cost is on the other end of it. right? You just make the decision because you're told, hey, you do this, you get promotion. Okay, well, I'll tell Nancy that these 3,600 people got to go or whatever. Like, I guess that's how it works. That's business, right? Nobody tells you, like, do you realize, like, Nancy in accounting is not going to be able to provide for, you know what I mean? Like, there is no safety net, you know? So, what were you saying, Rob?
In a city like Chicago, it is particularly corrupt. Like, it's like when you go to shop for fruit. Like, how fresh is the corruption today? You know what I'm saying? This is how bad it is.
Does it echo?
Right. Because you can pick your garden variety of it. You can decide how much corruption you want to take part in. But even in that, and I'm saying, even in that, man, the thing that is, the first year you are there as an officer of the law, you don't have any choices to anything.
Right.
Now, based on how strong that particular group of police officers are corrupted, you may have a situation like that dude in California. Now, everybody was crazy mad at that brother in California that had shot up a bunch of people and the shit went bad.
The ex-soldier and cop.
But at the beginning, he was like, hey, man, this is some fucked up shit we're doing.
Right.
And they was like, oh, is it? You're one of those people? We got something for you.
Yeah.
Fire this motherfucker. Get rid of this motherfucker first thing. And every time you go to work, little shit that you didn't do is now big shit. You come in and you were on time. But they was like, oh, y'all, we didn't mark you here today. You got here late. Man, I was at... No, you were late. Then what you gonna do?
Right. Yeah.
But see, for me, that department... It's socially fucked up. Like, these people are socially in their head fucked up.
Yeah.
And I could dominate the fucked upness. So I never had those type of situations. I would walk in there how I felt like it. Because everybody in there was fairly stupid. Not stupid. Let me remember. They were harmed emotionally. So they cared about shit that didn't matter. But when you don't, everybody looking at you like, what's wrong with this nigga? And they get out your way. You dig what I'm saying? Yeah. Because they don't want to be embarrassed by you who don't give a fuck.
Yeah. People take false ownership in companies. You know what I mean? Like, I remember
we don't do that.
I remember being in places where I've had to be like, "Who are you, Mr. Target? What the fuck are you doing? Is fucking Joe Target gonna call you?" And I'd be like, "Sorry, let that guy use the washroom. He didn't buy anything." Like, get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? Like, what do you think? I'm gonna go fucking shit on your walls? Like, if you keep fucking with me, maybe I'll buy a stack of gum. And
every business calls them a family. Like, blah blah blah.
Whatever the fuck.
Here at
Target has always let me go to the bathroom. Don't fucking. Please do not send me a cease and desist. Target has never given a shit with her about anything.
Let's keep it 100.
They've just been, please come in and shit in our toilets.
Hey, can I'm gonna say something nice about Target. Target was like when they fucked up Target after George Floyd and the Republicans and shit started saying, look, they're destroying the Target. Target was like, because they're from Minnesota, they were like, hey, don't put us in this shit. We cool. We got insurance. We don't give a fuck about that store.
Also, black people money spend the same. It ain't gonna be no different.
Yeah, but they like
it's all green, nigga.
But they like, I don't know if people remember that shit, but Target was straight up like, keep our name out your mouth. Like, don't have us getting boycotted because of you motherfuckers.
When it comes, go ahead.
This T-shirt I got on from Target.
when it comes to corruption, I think one of the crazy things is the fall of Andrew Yang. Andrew Yang finished like 4th in the race. Yeah. You know what I mean? And he was a guy, I mean, I remember when he was running for president and, you know.
There were people who were really behind him.
There's somebody sitting behind a monitor who is big on the old Yang gang and was...
Hey man, his universal income is still a good fucking idea.
His UBI, it is mostly a good idea, but it seems like now he doesn't want the homeless people to get it. I mean, he had a quote coming up towards the end of the election, with this whole thing about like making the unhoused people in New York the other, and you know, was basically just like, you know, they like basically asserting the right of the people who like bring the money to New York, and that like essentially we got to get these people out of here. Yeah, he said yes, mentally ill people have rights, but you know who else has rights? We do, the people and families of the city.
Because those aren't
so
mentally
he's
ill
immediately
people.
separating mentally ill people.
Wow.
Which I mean, there's probably a few people that own property in New York that also are aware that they are mentally ill and would feel weird about that. You know, who'd be like, wait a minute, I'm a millionaire, but also I've got depression. So what the fuck, man? What are you talking about? Am I not? You know what I mean? Like
some gamer with a Starbucks is like, what the fuck is he talking about?
Hey man, this nigga, fuck him. I did not see. This is my first time seeing this. I knew he said some dumb shit, but hey man, after the world got semi-safer, I stopped paying attention to a lot of shit.
So, the difficulty is that New York is also a place where there's been a lot of violence against Asian Americans, and he got funding from somebody involved with the police, and so his stance on what policing was required changed. And there are as there are multi-generational Asian people in New York City, there are a lot of older generation people who definitely believe in more policing, not less. There are, if you're a 60-year-old Asian lady in New York City, you are like, defund the police. Are you out your goddamn mind? Like, no, they're beating us out of nowhere just because a pandemic happened. No, more police, please, more police, right? Like, and so Yang moved hard that way, and it cost him. It's a tremendous change, and it's sad because I thought he was a more principled guy. When it first happened, I didn't know if he had a whole ton of them yet.
This lends itself back to the first part of this conversation.
Yep. That's the thing is,
where'd you go to college?
I don't.
Is he a Harvard guy?
I don't remember. James, do you know where your boy went to school?
He said,
if he's not a Harvard guy, that doesn't matter.
Hey man, this Chicago energy make you get shit done.
He went to Columbia Law in '99, Brown in '96.
Okay, so he's that energy.
The shitty of the Ivy League.
Yeah.
You go to Brown, it's like, did you? I mean, they're in there, but nobody. If you had to name them off, that's not the first one you think of. You know what I mean? Like it's down there with Cornell.
I know Ivy isn't white, but when you hear Ivy, you think Ivory because that's how white the Ivy League is, and one of them is named Brown.
Right.
You know they don't like them motherfuckers.
You had sent this story to me before, X. Trump is still out there in the world. One of the things he's thinking about doing is running for Speaker of the House, which did you know that you could just like
be Speaker of the House?
Yeah, you ain't even got to be. You have to be a
I didn't know
representative.
that.
They could just be like, if you like the Democrats could just be like, we're gonna make fucking Ben Affleck Speaker of the House, and Ben would have to be like, I guess I'm Speaker of the House now. I'm gonna decide some shit. I doubt that's a thing he's gonna do because being in the House of Representatives requires actually you still actually have to do something. You can't. You have to. You're involved in an actual lever. You don't just get to like magically say weird shit. Well, you do get to magically say weird shit.
So here's the thing. Here's the thing that's fucked up.
Marjorie Greene says weird shit all the time.
I think everything that he does as speaker is all parliamentary shit. That is like literally like he has to word shit a certain way. Last week.
Good luck getting.
Remember last week when we were
talking about getting Donald Trump to word things a certain way?
I'm saying, remember when like we were trying to watch them pass the bill and shit, and fucking Schumer wasn't trying to talk like that. He had to talk like because that's how you have to do it. Yeah. So he would never. Are you fucking kidding me? There's no way he'd do that shit.
No, he'd start talking about other shit.
Yeah.
Hey,
what about this?
So happy you're all here today, my daughter Ivanka. It's just like, what the fuck are you talking about?
He might even start out on the passing of the bill of the whatever. This is so stupid. I don't understand. I mean, look.
I wouldn't have voted for it. There's a lot of people. There's people everywhere that say they wouldn't have voted for this. If you talk to the American people, nobody likes it. And honestly, some people would be very upset about that.
A lot of people do not like this bill. I don't know what you guys are doing it, but
speaking of Ivanka, she and Jared are dissing themselves from Trump, which.
I bet you're still going to jail.
My whole thing was like until they turn states on him. You know what I mean? Like oh, you going to vacation separately next year? What the fuck is that? We going to distance ourselves?
This is the precursor to that.
Here's the thing. Her distancing herself from him was happening initially when it would look like he was going to lose because she was trying to get back into New York City's societal life and shit, and they were like, the fucking Scarlet Letter motherfuckers. Didn't nobody want to fuck with them, so they was trying to distance themselves. And then her father went on the stop the steal thing and all that shit, and so they had to ride with that because. What
you gonna do? Yeah, you can't.
What you gonna do? If this nigga actually pulls off the coup, you can't be outside the castle wall. If this nigga pulls off the coup, you're not getting. You never get back in.
They will come for you if he wins.
Yeah. You're not getting back in. Oh wait, you weren't with us, and now you're with us.
It's a crazy start to a drama series, right?
You may be able to get back in. You may be able to get back in,
but you're never going to be back in. Like
Right.
they sit at the right hand of the king right now.
Somebody
They're
will watch you forever.
Have
Yeah.
you ever looked at the way he interacts with her?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's totally weird. I
Yeah.
mean, I have a daughter.
can
There's
get
no
back
fucking
in.
way I would-
Oh yeah. Damn. Oh my God.
Speaking of gross, Rudy Giuliani lost his law license.
Wow.
I mean,
Damn.
in the world of things I fully expected to happen, you're still recovering from that one?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
good.
Giuliani's out, baby. No
Yeah.
more. I mean, not that it really matters. I love that's a picture of him losing. That's his law license, literally.
So here's the
trickling down
thing.
the side of
So
his
people
head,
people
falling
need
out
to
and
understand. Like people understand how big this is. This is not some standardized shit. Here's why. The only time that they do this, because he still has to have a hearing to being disbarred, right? This is a precursor to being disbarred. Typically, they do not suspend a lawyer's license, especially somebody of his type of accreditation, unless there is evidence that they've stolen money or evidence that they have done something like they're abusing something. So because there isn't already a case specifically stating that against him, the fact that they suspended it is extraordinary. Extraordinary. And so I just want people to know this is not like a big deal, boo, 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 whatever. It's a big fucking deal.
I mean, there are going to be the people will fall by the wayside of Donald Trump for years to come, right? Like there's going to be, I mean, if vengeance is your thing, there'll be a point where maybe he will also get his. But along the way, you're going to see a lot of people, get lost in the shuffle. And that's just going to be how it's going to go. It's going to be a wild ride to see how the next few years play out with some of these people, as they're no longer needed in the next movement of what goes on. Somebody else who's going to be missing for the future, John McAfee, in a weird change of events. The guy who made the McAfee antivirus software. I mean, computer guy. I remember there was a pair where he was. There's a pair where he was in the Caribbean somewhere, hiding out, kicking it. Not kicking it,
Belize.
just kind of on the run. He was in Belize trying to stay away because of some type of tax shit. There was a point where he was on all types of crazy drugs at one point. He's got an incredible story. I think there's been like two different documentaries on him. And, it's interesting because this is a guy who ran a security company. So what he may have had access to in his life as far as, being a guy who runs a security company, I'm not really sure what all he knows or doesn't know. But he has always threatened that he does know some things, that he's got information. And so, I'm not really sure what the deal was, but he was waiting. He was waiting extradition, right?
Yeah. Can I suggest this?
Yeah.
Can I suggest that this is a man who may have possibly been guilty of his crimes and thought that people would think exactly what you thought, and so that he created this idea that possibly he had this kill switch situation to keep people at bay, because possibly he did have things.
That is,
but there may be not anything there. It just may be him creating a mythos to try to stay out of jail.
It is probably just as possible as it being the other way.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I mean? Like it would be a very John McAfee thing to do.
Because I mean, if you
know what I mean, to like have no dead man switch, that it would be just as real. Like I would be as unsurprised if nothing ever happened and the guy just was gone forever, as I would be if like a treasure trove of documents started pouring out from somewhere. I would be, because the guy was so like, is enigmatic the word? The guy was so enigmatic where it was just like, unless you were around him every day and really knew his world, I don't know.
Bobby, I'm horny for that shit to happen.
I know.
I am I'm a news junkie, man, and it's been kind of Biden's been boring, which is good for the country, but there's nothing that's like, I'm not into anything. The nigga's boring as fuck.
That's a great picture of him with Epstein behind him, protecting him.
Wow.
Firing out there.
Oh my God.
In some other wild ass news, there was a former head of the NRA who got tricked into giving a speech in front of a bunch of empty chairs, and they filmed it. And the empty chairs were the number of high school seniors who were not going to be graduating.
It was 3,000 chairs.
3,000 chairs. The video is, look at that. Look, that's the picture. They got this dude out here to give
two
this speech.
dudes.
He's a former head of the NRA. he came out. Now he thought he was warming up for the actual, like doing a warm up for an actual speech he was going to give. So he expected an empty stage, and so he gets invited to speak at this thing. They have him come out there and do a whole thing where he gives a whole speech, and they film the fucking thing. And it's all for this video to show like this is how many people are dead because of gun violence.
But wait a second, the
graduating.
video is so fucking dope. I mean, it's not dope; it's gross. I mean, but the way they put it together is very fucking compelling.
Shit.
Because there's playing audio from fucking school shootings. People calling 911.
Oh, that's
as it gets towards the end, like
in
his
the mid,
speech
like
is interspersed with like people.
Holy fuck.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
My God.
It
so
is.
Like, and he had no idea. He didn't find out until this was out that somebody asked him about it. He said, "You didn't know." He said, "What? That wasn't a real."
You know that man is not on YouTube.
Oh, because after he did the what's it called, dress rehearsal.
that man is not on YouTube.
After he did the dress rehearsal, they told him. Now this is I forgot. There's a lot of stuff we're leaving out of the story that makes this so dope. What they did to this motherfucker. They created a fake college named after John Adams, the man who crafted the Second Amendment. We didn't talk about that, did we?
Right? No, we did not.
He crafted the second. I'm sorry, a little bit high. I was like, did I miss that? Okay, we didn't talk about it. The man who crafted the Second Amendment, responsible for it. They created a fake college, and so where he was going to speak, there was nobody yet.
Please, someone listen to me.
And they're like, it was supposed to be like this Second Amendment strong university. Like they had this code mythos that they created behind it. So like if you Google
of course, the speech this nigga writes is just like, we will shoot a motherfucker.
Yeah. His
niggas
speech
gotta die.
He's basically, this nigga's basically in this horrific ass ad. He's basically Yosemite Sam up there, like pow pow pow, pow. Yeah, we gotta keep these guns, nigga. Ha ha ha. And they playing the most horrific day in the lives of millions of people.
Yeah, it's hardcore. It's one of the more like interesting activist moves on somebody.
Yeah, and it was the father of a young man who was murdered at I can't remember, but I think it's the one that's in Parkland. The son was murdered at Parkland.
Yeah.
Power to the motherfucking people.
Yeah. I love that shit.
Hey man, as a dad, like you can't go actually murder the person or do anything crazy like Punisher style to that. This might be the greatest This might be the greatest
Man.
like.
I mean, you have an argument for this being
I need some of the weed that he was smoking.
Him and his wife. His wife was involved
Let's
too.
talk a little black excellence, man. Sha'Carri Richardson, people away. She's the 100-meter champ.
World's fastest.
She's doing it her way. She's got. I mean, it's so interesting. It's funny. Like wide receivers in football seem to take on similar personas, like the very good ones, or
I think it's something about being that fast,
and like 100-meter dash track stars. Like track stars who run short, like sprint distances, also oftentimes have these personas of being like this. It's a very, and I think it's great. I think it's baller.
Let me ask you this. I'm literally like this. I'm into the psychology of this. As a kid, growing up, being superior to other people, because if you're that fast, if you get to world class, you've always been that. When you were 5, you were Jack.
You're blazing people.
Yeah, you were Jack from The Incredibles.
Unless you're Jerry Seinfeld, because there was a moment where he realizes he got his speed. Right? Remember the race, the episode.
But yeah, so I like maybe that there's a swagger, because always knowing that you could just fucking flash the fuck out of a joint if you have to has to be kind of cold. Like I was fast, but I wasn't fast like that. Like these motherfuckers. Like her hair,
not fast. That was my failure as an athlete.
That was the freak thing about me, because I'm a giant. I was like fast, but her hair is the color like that because it looks like fire when she runs. And if you look at her from the front, if you watch her like from a front on, it looks like her hair is on fire. It's fucking amazing.
Yeah, it's baller.
Bless your ministry. See,
yeah, she is so fucking cool. So this is how amazing she was. She set the fucking world record in the last 30 meters. She was pointing at the clock. And she set the world record. The last 30 meters, she's pointing at the clock, my dude.
Bitch, I got this shit. Dig what I'm
Like,
trying
how
to
much
tell you.
faster would the world record have been if she didn't, like, fucking high step?
See, this is the energy you get when he's in the room. It's never like this because you can just do this on at the crib. You know what I mean?
Well,
you yelling, dog. You yelling. We just
Sorry.
We'll turn it back up in a second.
I'm pretty loud myself, so that didn't startle me at all. This is what I was thinking. Think
that
about
shit.
even in what you do as an individual, right?
Right.
When I was a kid, I was like, man, I wonder why people don't do X, Y, Z.
Right.
And then people were like, well, you never thought about that, right?
Yeah.
So I started saying shit like that out loud.
Yeah.
And the next thing you know, it was comedy. You dig what I'm saying? It whatever you do, it's got to be a certain. And you have the same psyche when you take the stage. That's all I'm saying. Whatever you do that you do, everybody got a blessing. Her blessing was that, and she knew it from the time she was this big.
Yeah. Yep.
So hell yeah, she's supposed to run past like fuck you bitches. This is
Well,
it.
I think I get what you're saying too, in the idea of just like there's this thing where you're like, well, I know I'm the best at a thing, right? Like nobody can fuck with me. So like, if I decide I want to wear some different clothes or I might like, who's gonna like? I'm the fastest motherfucker you know. Like, I get to be like there's a thing of just like, and I think some of that does push the culture, right? Like it pushes people to try some new things. I mean, some of y'all ain't the best at some shit, so I don't know what you're doing.
Right.
And I think that's where we struggle, though, is we struggle with that thing where we see somebody trying to express themselves in a way where they don't have this added, which shouldn't be necessary. Yeah. But it's only when you have this thing where you are lauded with the freedom to be so that people finally find a place where they can actually do that, right? What are you gonna tell her? She can't wear that hair? You're not gonna let the fastest motherfucker run? Shit.
Wait, dig this. These are all the bitches from the entire world right here, right? Any other bitches want to? No? Okay, these the bitches I gotta beat? Right. By the time I get through, I'm gonna let y'all know I'm better than these bitches. Right, while I'm doing it.
While she's doing it.
Look, bitches, look at the clock.
Another thing that's not that we are taking a stand on, or that stands being taken on, is Black TikTok creators. They are no longer. They're not doing any dances. Megan Thee Stallion has a new song out called Thought Shot. They're not. Black TikTok creators are striking. They're doing no dances because their dances are being taken by people who aren't black. Yeah. Who are then doing like tutorials and shit like that, adding it onto their massive amount of followers.
And not crediting anybody.
So, and this
you mean the colonizer shit? They doing some colonizer shit?
Yeah. Catch up with the 400-year head start.
Yeah. Dude, I'm so sick of seeing, I'm sorry for saying this, but I'm so sick of seeing Barbie-looking bitches doing cheerleader moves on this shit. Like, and they all be stiff. Right. And by the way, there's the two most excited women on planet Earth are a woman who just found out she had pockets in her new dress, and a white girl with a little bit of ass when that little song goes, pretty face, little waist, and a big bank. And that little expression that they make when they turn around and look back at you like, I got an ass. Like, they're so excited about it. They are so fucking proud about it. I'm sick of it.
I'm saying, I'm with you. I'm with you 100%. I just feel sorry for people wasn't no white boys on her fat ass before then. You know what I mean? You done with your whole life, everybody telling you dumpy and unattractive, and then finally you're like, fuck you, take that white ass right there. I'm with you. I'm with you on that. You know what I'm saying?
Well, here's the thing though.
Shout out Becky Crocker.
Becky Crocker loves shout outs. Here's the thing is that like, just make your own fucking dance. You so good at doing dances. You want to dance so much, you know what I mean?
Oh, this is going to be so interesting.
You want to be on TikTok dancing, make your own fucking dances. That's the thing. Is like, so because here's the actual reality is because like people are claiming there's a boycott to this, but the real thing is that there are black women who are doing dances to this song. They're just, when they're registering what song it is, they're just putting my own sound or whatever their own username is, and because white women don't actually fuck with black women's apps. Or black women on the app, they don't really follow them. They just steal dances. They're not finding that. They're not, because
they won't be able to find the song. Because they're looking for like, Beyonce or Rihanna.
Black people doing work. They're doing Underground Railroad just to get their dances out to motherfuckers on TikTok.
Dig what I'm saying.
You're gonna have to come to my page and follow me, bitch, or at least
you gotta invest some goddamn time, ho.
At least the views, because they still walk the views. Even a lot of y'all don't know this, man. You putting content out there. Sometimes you might not be getting the likes that you think you want to get, But if you got to look, there's views and people looking at your shit. There's two things. They suppress them because they try to get you to pay.
They do.
And two,
They do.
people are haters sometimes. Niggas don't just do shit for some reason. I don't know. But it's less the haters. It's more the the social networks being suppressing.
Let's talk about some
Real quick.
Yeah.
The what you just said, it's like saying, why make your own dance? Nigga, why pick your own cotton? Where left the difference?
In some wild shit before we get out of here, there's a show on Netflix that's coming out. It's called Sexy Beast. It's a dating show. They've already given it a 2-season order.
Wow.
In the show, the way it works is these people
Oh girl, I love her.
These people get put into all types of prosthetics on their face. So they get made to look like a wolf or a duck or a dolphin or whatever, and they have to meet other people and hang out with them with this shit on their face, looking like an animal.
Hey, I take offense to this though that they're calling Rob Delaney a comedian, but keep going.
Yeah, that part I find to be very odd, but. So the deal is, in order to like almost like a Masked Singer kind of a thing, you meet somebody, you're both wearing prosthetics. You just gotta get to know each other without knowing.
Can he call himself
Now,
entertainer?
I probably can we petition that? So look, here's some of the pictures of some of the people. They make people look like wild. So my problem with this though is that they showed some shots of some people without the makeup on, and they're all attractive.
There's got to be some butterfaces in there.
You just got like if you want a real show that's got some risk to it, you gotta have some uggos.
Hey man,
You can't just have all hot people because it's like, why am I winning no man? If I find somebody I get along with, she's probably gonna be fine. So like, you know what I mean? Like you can't just.
There's got to be a dude that looks like he's fit, but when he take the makeup off, he also looks like he's getting in the middle of getting punched.
Yeah, he just gotta. Yeah, you gotta find one of them bitter beer
Half
guys.
Plenty. Watch this film called Half Plenty. That's exactly. The dude took his coat off. I was like, God damn, that motherfucker huge. Right before he beat a dude up, he looked like a nerd till he took his.
I mean, it's just the premise sounds great. Like for one, obviously they're doing
Look at that
something.
ass.
They're doing something where they're trying to show off prosthetics for some reason for this show. That's
That singing song, that singing show,
The Masked Singer.
The Masked Singer. I think that is the birth of this, or the creator of this.
Sure.
Not the same people. I'm saying that being so successful made this a thing.
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's just I think I have some ugly ones in there. That's all I'm saying.
Also, here's the thing. Me and Rob were talking about, I think yesterday, I think you were in this conversation too, is makeup people, are they about to lose their job? Oh, that's right. You said digital frame thing. Never mind.
Yeah. It's expensive. There's a rave that it's already started back. This one that happened was a redneck rave. And that was a real thing.
Wow.
There's a redneck rave that went down.
Go with your sister.
Yeah, they had all crazy. Yeah. So
holy shit!
It didn't go. I mean, it went probably exactly as you'd expect it to go. There were throat slashing that happened between friends. Somebody got impaled.
Can't leave white people alone for nothing.
There were 14 mass arrests. There was.
How did somebody get impaled, man?
It was.
The fuck were they doing? Oh my god!
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, there was a mud race. You know, it didn't go well. It was.
You ain't gonna find no mud race on 79th Street now. Come on, man.
Hey, man.
A woman was strangled until she passed out. A person lost the better part of a finger. Another was impaled when he drove a side-by-side over a 2 to 3 inch log that broke through the bottom of the recreational vehicle. The impaling came from below the vehicle. From below the vehicle.
Holy fuck. Hey,
Paramedics left the log inside him as they airlifted him to a hospital.
God. Oh, God.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God.
Nigga.
Hey,
imagine the day before you leave for a redneck rave, and you're just like, the fun we're gonna have. Somebody's probably gonna get fucked up at this thing.
Hey,
somebody's trying to get hurt real
They
bad.
created redneck sickles.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Hey, James.
Pop that nigga in the freezer.
James Webb about to have a profound moment. This is the difference, man. Right here. This is the difference. We could never participate in some shit like this. It wouldn't be a story. They would have bombed the whole fucking place. Nobody would have came out alive. You'd have never heard about it. It would have just been like they killed a terrorist group or something on American soil. Like no black people would have survived this. If somebody got impaled
Yeah.
All of them would be. It would be.
Does anybody ever get impaled at Freaknik? Does that ever happen?
Nobody. No, I mean.
I was thinking the same shit. I'm like,
I know. I was like, what type of parties do black people throw where people get
Freaknik?
A lot of women try anal for the first time, but
that's. I mean, technically, that one existed already. Oh god, now I feel bad about it. Am I telling this story next? Carl Nassib of the Raiders has come out as gay. He's the first active player to come out as gay. That story being strung together that way was not intentional.
I like the way he came. I mean, however anybody comes out, I like it. But I just like he was kind of matter of fact about it, and he's like, "Hey, I'm just saying I'm gay." Yeah, and yeah, and I wish I didn't have to do this shit. Hopefully one day we won't. But yeah, boom, there it is. I'm out.
Yeah, he's like, all right, I'm gonna go tackle a bunch of motherfuckers for millions of dollars now.
Right. I dig dudes, and I make lots of money through violence.
Yeah,
I'm up.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was brilliant. The Raiders responded properly. Who knows how the league will respond? I mean, he's the first guy
in Vegas. Oh man,
he's the first guy who's under contract and also out of the closet. Right? There's been people who've been in the league who've come out.
Afterwards.
Yeah, who've come out afterwards. There's Michael Sam who got drafted but never played. So hopefully it starts a thing where some more people are comfortable. Hopefully here's what I actually hope for. I hope this dude has a solid year. I hope he has a solid year, at least bare minimum solid year where people are just like, well, I guess you can be gay and still tackle the shit out of a nigga. I guess
what position does he play?
I think
defensive lineman.
Yeah, he's like an end or a linebacker.
Oh man,
I
hope this motherfucker is all pro.
How many years has he been in the league already?
He's 28, I think.
So they already know. You already know what you got with him.
He's been around.
He's got a history.
Oh, so he's not gonna be an all pro.
Okay. He's in his 6th season. He's in his second with the Raiders. He's got a contract for a few more years. Hopefully he has a solid year.
We wrote a scene, Duran Howard and I, who I'm on the show with on July 1st.
You got a show July 1st?
Oh, yeah.
At Comedy Shrine.
Yeah, at the Comedy Shrine. You guys will be there.
We'll be on that show as well.
Yeah, we'll be there. We'll all be there. We wrote this thing, we wrote an episode about this TV show that was like about ESPN, but not quite ESPN. So like ESPN would get an interview with LeBron James.
Right.
We would get an interview with LeBron James's one of her old boyfriends. and so they had this thing called, we had this episode called gay love, blah, blah, blah. Right? It was it was something like that. And so this dude was trying to come out. And at the same time he was trying to come out, he went to a new team and he was going from playing in a 4-3 to a 3-4. So they asking, he's trying to come out and he's being all sincere. And I'm like, yeah, fuck that. So what you think about being down as opposed to standing up? Like, that's going to change the whole thing. And he's like, yeah, man, you're right. All of that will happen, but I am gay. I was like, yeah, man love, blah, blah, blah. Then what happened? And that was the name of the episode, man love, blah, blah, blah. I don't give a fuck about none of that. I'm trying to see how the game gonna change.
And hopefully that is like what happens, right? Like hopefully none of that matters and we can get back to
if you revive that, you should make it he's the gambling reporter, and the reason why he's so insistent, he's got to make the line. But keep going.
The last thing I want to talk about before we wrap it up here is there's a new cool thing coming out. Airspeeder race cars have been in a test flight. They will be competing in the year 2021.
Dope again.
If you're a Star Wars fan, this is not too dissimilar to pod racers. These things look like little F1 cars with drone wings on the bottom of them. James, you own a drone that looks pretty much like this thing, right?
Yeah, dude.
When I first saw that, I was like, "Oh, that's the pilot is sitting somewhere else."
I'm putting a fucking lawn chair on top of my drone.
But
start practicing.
But there's this new thing that's coming out where they have these flying vehicles that they're gonna have a track and you can literally race and change the battery out on it on the side. That's what they're doing right there. Is they're making a pit stop to change the battery, and then you just go back on the track and fucking. Now, the amount of deaths from this thing is going to be insane off the bat. It's going to be wild.
Hey, right? Man, there's deaths in fucking NASCAR.
I mean, here's the thing, though. Without an internal combustion engine and at a height that's low enough, as long as the blades don't cut your throat, there's a chance you may just walk away with some, long-term injuries.
Wow, there's a chance that you. Oh man, wow.
But I mean, will I watch it? Absolutely.
Yes.
I will definitely
That's
watch
in
it.
California somewhere. It looked like I've been there.
Speaking of watching it, where are we gonna see you guys? Where are we gonna be, XO? What's your,
At
what's your
XL
deal?
Comedy. I'm getting ready for the big show, July 1st, Comedy Shrine. Moby Combs and friends. We got a lot of dope comics coming out. The great, amazing Mara Lee's gonna be there. You're gonna be there, and also Durant Howard's gonna be my man. Durant Howard, he's a good dude. Glad to see him. He's gonna be there, and of course, Mr. Robert Hines, aka Moby Combs, aka Toby Jones, aka a whole bunch of other knowns.
Real quick, this has been 100 shows. James Webb, I want to thank you so much, man. I don't know how many 100 show
100 times.
podcasts you've got on
I
here.
think this is the first one.
Really?
Get the fuck out of here, word?
Holy cow.
Holy shit, milestone.
Yeah.
Pew, pew, pew. Fuck you, Chicago Cubs. We did something that nobody else did too.
Honestly, man, if you really want to, if you want somewhere where you're gonna get taken care of as a podcast, it's a thing. You've been around here for a long time, James, and you have fought to try and create a thing, which I think you have going now. We're happy to be able to have this slot on a Friday. I think it's a competitive slot to be in, for times to be able to go live and do a show, and we've done well here. I think it's been a fun time, and hopefully we get to keep on doing this for a bunch more. Rob, where can people catch you, man?
All of my social media is Robert_L_Hines across everything that I'm on.
You're in Chicago right now.
I'm here right now. We are doing sketches. We are doing all types of stuff, and I got some new things that I'm going to be promoting next week. Stay tuned.
Hey, I got to do real quick. I got 2 quick shout outs. Hey, I want to shout out Koos. This guy I went to the Bucks game with. He's a big fan of the show. He gives us mad love. But also, I want to shout out the song that you listen to is by my little cousin. Yeah, and he's on all 100 episodes that you hear this bumping. And he just shot his first music video in LA, and his new music is super dope. It's Gold Haze, GOLDHAZE.
Go Haze, go Haze.
Gold Haze, go Haze.
Go Haze. He has some new shit coming out. Check him out. The kid is super dope. Out of Chicago.
We got the okay to use his music literally 5 minutes before we started our very first show.
We're like all those like messages texting back and forth.
You're like, yeah, his name's Go Haze. We could probably do his shit. Let me find out real quick. And you messaged him in like 5. He was like, yeah, dog, go ahead. Just shout me out. We were like, bet. And that's great. I love it as a run for this. It's been great. So thank you to him.
Yeah, this is like having some early Kanye shit. I'm not saying the cuz gonna go up like that, but I'm saying he finna glow up.
Check him out. You can find me at Mocha_Jesus everywhere. Shows this week, shows next week. We're going down to Indianapolis. Find People of Comedy at People of Comedy and People of Comedy Network on Twitter and Instagram. We'll catch you here next Friday for number 101. That's it. That's what's up.
Peace.
So,
Go ahead.